Death toll is now at 9. That jet was loaded with 250,000 pounds of fuel when it crashed into a fuel storage unit. The results of a constitutional amendment election yesterday in Texas is holding some promise for Americans living with Alzheimer's disease and their families. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us voters in the Lone Star State allocated $3 billion to understanding dementia.
The Dementia Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, approved by the state's voters yesterday, creates a network of specialists involved in neurological research for patients and their families nationwide.
There's going to be more opportunity to have an advanced potential treatment.
Alzheimer's Association CEO Dr. Joanne Pike says the vote here triples her organization's funding for research into an illness that affects 7 million Americans. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Stocks have turned positive. The Dow Jones now up 109, the NASDAQ gaining 88. S&P 500 index is plus 16 points. That's the latest news. We've got traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Ant. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, you get those at betterwater.com. You can listen to this show anywhere. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app if you prefer your conservative radio with a little bit of Sanjay Gupta mixed in. That's always great. People love it. You get that on iHeartRadio. You can listen on TuneIn. You can listen on the FM dial as well. We call that Radio Classic. You can watch the show. You can watch the show on a myriad of platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. All those platforms have a share button. We ask that you share it. Help us grow the digital footprint of the radio station, so that way we continue to raise the profile of this station. We all love this radio station. I fell in love with this radio station before I was ever on the air here, listening to Uncle Phil. And if you think more people should hear truth and hear news and hear what we're doing here, the share button is a huge way to do it. Hit like, hit subscribe, all the things. All right, how about last night, guys? How about last night?
You sound too happy.
Why do I sound too happy?
Because last night was a trouncing?
I mean, but, okay, so first I predict, it was predictable. I almost said I predicted it, but it was like everybody predicted it, so I'm not considering myself special by any stretch of the imagination. We all saw it coming, and I am kind of happy. I am. Because I think that this can be the fuel that we need. I think that this could be the wake-up call before the midterms. We have 1 year to go before the midterms. We are 1 year removed from Trump's election victory. You can watch the momentum slowing in real time. I think we've all seen it. We've racked up a lot of wins in the year that President Trump has been back in office. The overwhelming majority of them have been on foreign policy. And I think that if we want to get a wake-up call before midterms, we're going to need to refocus the MAGA agenda back here at home. And we're going to need to refocus on young men. We're going to need to refocus on H-1B visas. We're going to need to refocus on getting Americans back to work. This is going to be key. We have a small window of opportunity, or we're going to lose it all. So I'm grateful that we have a window of opportunity. I'm ecstatic, and I hope that this really is a kick in the shorts for a lot of people. But I am a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated that over the past week, 2 weeks, you've had more conservative pundits, commentators, influencers upset about Tucker Carlson interviewing Nick Fuentes than they've been upset about Attorney General candidate and now Attorney General of Virginia, Jay Jones, sending texts saying that he wants to watch the Speaker of the Republican legislature watch the kids die in the mom's arms and pee on their graves. And he wants, if he had a chance, to shoot the Republican Speaker or Pol Pot or Hitler, and he only had 2 bullets, well, the Republican guy would get them both. I'm a little bit frustrated that this seems like a rubber stamp on political violence from the left. But I also understand that at the same time, this is motivation. And we need to harness that energy and we need to use it. We need to stop fighting with each other while the Dems are fighting to win. And I think that that's the big takeaway. We have to stop. It's bovine scatology. It really is. That this is our biggest problem right now, is that we have too many purity tests. And instead of focusing on what we can do while we still have power. We saw it with the young Republicans. Oh my gosh, the group text. Oh, private group chats leaked. We disavow. Meanwhile, the Democrats are like, yeah, he said he was going to kill those kids, but, that's our guy. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Jay Jones elected Virginia's Attorney General. It's funny to me, because I know what Republicans do when there's a controversy. Remember Mark Robinson? You remember Mark Robinson? He was running for governor of North Carolina in 2024, a state that Donald Trump won. This is how Republicans respond to controversy. Mark Robinson said some nasty things online. Mark Robinson said some weird things online. Republicans said, not for me. North Carolina voted for Trump, but they voted a Democrat in as governor. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's crazy. Purity tests instead of focusing on what we can do with the power. And the pollsters will tell you Trump wasn't on the ballot. That's true. They'll say Trump wasn't on the ballot and the government shutdown are the 2 reasons we lost on election night. I think in New Jersey you could also probably maybe say, what about those bomb threats and all the weird polling location issues in Republican areas? But hey, I don't want to get labeled a conspiracy theorist. We lost. That's That's the reality. Without Trump, turnout collapses. There is no reason we shouldn't have taken Virginia and New Jersey. None. Instead, all we did was rack up losses. That's it. That's all we did last night. We racked up losses. And again, I hope that this wakes people up. We're losing young men. You understand that, right? We're losing young men in this country. The conservative movement harnessed those guys, and they were with us in 2024. As of right now, we are bleeding support from young men. And it's not because they've gone to the left, but it's because we've stopped talking about the issues that they care about. The issues that hit their wallets, the issues that hit their futures. We've talked about this at length. We ignore the domestic fights that would be huge wins for the conservative and MAGA agenda, like the H-1B visas. We ignore housing affordability, and we basically let American tech jobs be outsourced, and then young men say, "Oh, yep, two wings, same bird." These guys are getting out of college and watching the jobs that they work their ass off to get be lost to imported labor. At the same time, rent is rising. They can't afford a home. And they're wondering why their own party seems more focused on what's happening elsewhere than here at home. If we don't reclaim economic populism, we're going to lose a lot of potential voters. We're just gonna. That's the reality of it. And the Democrats, in the meantime, they get away with the double standard. Jay Jones winning despite that scandal and the rhetoric calling for harm to Republicans is insane. Compare that to Mark Robinson, who was politically destroyed for far less. The left protects their own. We crucify our own. It's insane. It's not a winning recipe. We need to deal with our problems in-house, and we need to stay unified on these big stages. Democrats unify around extremism all the time. Look at Zohran Mamdani, openly socialist. He rails against billionaires, yet he gets endorsed by Alex Soros. Like, miss me with the bovine scatology. I was watching Fox News last night. Poso was on, Jack Posobiec, and he was talking about, Charlie warning against Zohran, and he said Zohran offers young people false hope based on grievance politics. And the young people have quite a bit of grievances in this country that need to be addressed. And it's not just a pull yourself up by your bootstraps argument. Like, you go to college for years and years and years, and then you lose your tech job that you busted your ass for to an Indian guy who, for all we know, has a falsified degree. Did you see the new reports coming out of Canada? A lot of these Indian guys that are being imported into Canada, they're falsifying their degrees. They're falsifying their job records. It was like more than a quarter of them had falsified their qualifications. It's insane. There's a lot of grievances here. We have a window of opportunity to address some of these grievances and to rack up some wins here domestically before the midterms. But we haven't yet. We haven't. We got 10 months since Trump's been inaugurated, some huge wins. And I don't mean to discount the wins. But the grievances at home are still pretty apparent for the younger generation. And this is why guys like Zohran Mamdani take hold. Enter Jack Posobiec last night on Fox News.
Well, Trace, look, I was going through some of the old conversations that I had with Charlie and Charlie's own tweets. Charlie was talking about Zohran Mamdani right up until just about 2 days before Charlie himself was murdered. I found this tweet from him that was just up September 8th, so 2 days before, where Charlie had said that Mamdani, if he wins, will usher in a crime wave, the likes of which New York had not seen since the 1990s. And sadly, I think Charlie is going to be proven correct. And it's very interesting because when you look at it, Charlie and Mamdani were roughly similar in age. Charlie would have been 32, Mamdani is 34, but they were the polar opposites in terms of what they offered for their political agendas. Mamdani, this is resentment politics. This is grievance politics. This is, you have something and I'm going to take it from you and give it to my supporters. Whereas Charlie was all about living a life centered on God, centered on country, centered on family, centered on building yourself and others up. And it's completely completely separate agenda from what the two sides were offering to their various young groups and young voters.
But the grievance politics works with young voters. It just does. So let's give them some wins so that way they know, these younger voters, that we're fighting for them. Can we do that? Can we focus on that? 10 months since Trump's been inaugurated. Caroline Leavitt yesterday during her press briefing was listing all the accomplishments, and there's been a bunch. Trillions in new investment. We haven't seen the fruit from it yet. I openly admit that. 8 wars ended. Unbelievable. It truly is. Nobody else could do it but Trump. The border is shut. Thank you. Mass deportations have been underwhelming. They're underway, but they've been underwhelming. Inflation has cooled. They say energy dominance has restored. We're still waiting to see the fruit from that. Manufacturing is coming back with tariffs. Still waiting to see the fruit from that. DEI replaced with merit. That's nice. That sounds nice. Until you lose your job to an H-1B visa. I mean, we need to refocus here at home before we have a lame duck presidency. When you look at the left, they are mobilized, they are energized, they're pissed off. When you look at the right, we were comfy walking into that election last night. Too comfy. Too comfy. I woke up this morning and I'm texting friends, figuring out what I can do to do more. And I hope that a lot of conservatives wake up with that same fire in their belly. What can we do? What can we do? Because if we're not careful, we're going to be screwed in 2026. Let's be perfectly honest. And from this point forward, we should operate with the understanding that we are screwed in 2026. We need to fight harder than we've ever fought before. Part of that starts with the filibuster. Can we get rid of the filibuster? I'm so sick and tired of conservatives going, but what happens when the other side does it? What happens when the Democrat? You know that they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it to pack the court. They're going to do it to make D.C. a state. They're going to do it to make Puerto Rico a state, whether we do it or not. So what are we going to do in the meantime? Do we remove the filibuster and get some, I don't know, nationwide voter ID passed? Can we do that? Can we shore up election integrity before the midterms? What are we doing? The filibuster, let's just be perfectly honest. It means that almost all the major bills in the Senate need 60 votes to move forward. That gives the minority power to block most legislation, even if it's easily getting through the House. Without the 60 votes, a president's policies on border control, tariffs, tax reform, healthcare reform, all of those will stall, like we've seen with the government shutdown. This administration, you talk about all the wins that Trump has racked up. This administration has racked up the most wins via executive order. Temporary and reversible executive orders. Just like we got rid of a lot of Bidens with the stroke of a pen, the same will be done to Donald Trump's. So what are we going to do? Are we going to listen to the critics who are going to argue that the Democrats are going to use if we remove the filibuster, the Democrats are going to do it against us? Or are we going to fight? Like a good old-fashioned Gino Bolso ad. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I want to go as hard as we can while we have the window of opportunity. And we still have a window of opportunity here to make sure that Democrats never regain power. Doesn't that sound like something you want to be a part of? I want to be a part of that. I want that for my kids and for my grandkids down the road. Can we fight? Can we fight? We've got 1 year before the midterms. This isn't about Trump anymore. It's about recognizing what works. If our base doesn't show up, if we keep fighting each other, we are going to hand this country to the Democrats. And you know what's going to be the result of that in 2026? More impeachment hearings. Oh, remember that? Good old classic impeachment hearings. Perfectly fine phone calls. Are you excited about that? Is that what you want? The left isn't scared about what we're doing. Let's be perfectly honest. We are not scaring the left. We're giving them an opportunity to regroup and reorganize. And when they see all the infighting happening inside the conservative movement, they love it. If we don't wake up today, we are going to sleepwalk into a loss in 2026. I'll repeat that for you again. If the conservative movement, if the MAGA movement, if the GOP, if Republicans don't wake up today, we are sleepwalking into an inevitable 2026 midterm loss. Wake up, guys. Wake up. 922 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends over at Cover Nash. Shane Ring is one of the best guys that you can ever talk to. He's a great guy, great family man, and he can make health insurance simple for you, which I'll be the first to admit is no easy task. Confusing percentages, surprise bills, fine print that kicks you in the rear end. We've all been there. Nobody likes it. So let's make it simple. Cover Nash has a brand new nationwide PPO plan that's going to give you the freedom to pick your own doctors anywhere in the U.S. with no referrals and no red tape. How does that sound for you? Just a $250 deductible, a flat $50 copay for any doctor, even specialist. Outpatient surgeries, $250 copay. Hospital stays, $1,000 total. Free preventative care, colonoscopies, mammograms. Not that you're excited about it, but it's there for you. And here's the kicker. No surprise bills, no hidden fees, just real protection from real providers. And if that's not the perfect fit, Shane's got 75 other top-rated companies that will find the best fit for your budget and your needs. What you got to do, call Shane. He's sitting at his desk right now, 615-465-0023, 615-465-0023, or find him online, covernash.com.
Hey dads, want an epic night with your kids? Head to Nissan Stadium for the Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience. On November 7th from 6 to 8:30 p.m., you'll make memories with your family as you run on the field and enjoy bonding activities. Expect fun, laughs, and fatherhood tips from Tennessee Titans long snapper Morgan Cox to help you be a better dad. All for less than a trip through the drive-thru. Just $35 gets you an unforgettable time with your kids. Register today at allprodad.com/events. The Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience is brought to you by Amazon, Arby's Foundation, Coca-Cola Consolidated, Colgate Bright Smiles Bright Futures, and Pinnacle Financial Partners.
President Trump making news again. The headlines, Chris. Donald Trump revokes the Secret Service from Kamala Harris. Ooh.
The unspoken part of this story is the hundreds of thousands of dollars we're going to save in therapists and PTSD counseling for the Secret Service agents that had to be on that detail with Kamala Harris. You know, we've heard the horror stories of Joe Biden swimming naked around his Secret Service agents, but I wonder how many times they've had to pick up a drunken Kamala Harris off the floor of a Wawa because she's on a Doritos run with Dougie. We don't need to pay for that, and she can afford her own security. I don't think this is much of a story.
We've got an update on the crash in Louisville of the UPS cargo plane to tell you about coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. It's 9:28. My name is Chris Hand. Show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I got called out for fake news, guys. Called out for fake news.
What'd you do now?
So I said, if you prefer your Super Talk with Gupta, Sanjay Gupta, you listen on iHeartRadio. 2645 said, you can't escape Gupta on TuneIn Radio either. LOL. I tried. You know what's Gupta free? YouTube and Rumble. Hit like and subscribe. Hit the like button if you don't like Sanjay Gupta. Do that for me. That's how we beat. That's how we beat Mandis. That's how we beat Mandis, baby.
Oh, absolutely.
We give something for people to thumbs up about.
Something to make you a little excited about.
Hey, listen, if you like Sanjay Gupta, then don't go over to YouTube and hit the like button, all right?
Yeah, you can stay on iHeart.
That's the line in the sand that we're drawing here on the Chris Hand Show. There's a lot to get to today. 615-737-9986. I'm open to the conversation that you guys want to have. I think that as we have displayed and talked about on this show, we always got Joan in the newsroom. We got Mason producing. You got me. But the most important member of our crew is you. 615-437-98. 615, what is it? 615-737. Why did I say 437?
How long you been saying this number?
A long time. 615-737-9986. I want to know what you think about the election results last night, how you think the conservatives are heading towards the midterms. Are we in a position of strength, or do we need to regroup, re-energize, and get out there and bring that energy? There's a lot to get to. President Trump was addressing removing the filibuster a little while ago with Senate Republicans, and we'll bring you that audio right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Devastating update from Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg this morning after the crash of that UPS cargo jet yesterday.
Morning here in Louisville. I do want to provide one update. We now have 9 known fatalities. That number may rise throughout the day, but right now we can confirm 9 fatalities.
And he also says there are 10 people in the hospital, 2 of them with burns in critical condition. Governor Andy Beshear also telling CNN that the disaster could have been worse. The plane barely missed a restaurant and bar, and it crashed right at dinner time. It was also close to a Ford production line with 1,000 workers inside, also near to a convention center that had been hosting a livestock show. Vanderbilt University is preparing for a protest on its campus today. It's happening against President Trump, who had offered the university and 8 others priority federal funding in exchange for eliminating DEI practices in enrollment and in the classroom. Vanderbilt has yet to make a decision on whether to accept that compact from the White House. New York City voters, only 24 years removed from 9/11, they have handed the keys to the city to Zoran Mamdani. And now Mamdani has plans to pay for his free buses, free childcare, and rent freeze plans.
You have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year. And you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey.
Mamdani speaking on Good Morning America. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
So this dude's dog wanders into the shot. And who is this guy?
So this is Hassan Piker. He's a left-wing streamer. He's very radical, Muslim, friends with Mamdani, big Mamdani supporter. And, this is just an insight to the kind of people they truly are at home. And he's on his live stream.
Yeah.
And as you said, his dog gets in the shot, won't sit down, which I understand. But at the same time, this dog is not getting in his way or anything. He is simply just circling, or as my wife would call it, nesting, trying to find that comfy spot.
Yeah.
So he shocks him.
Much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just f***ing go, just stop.
Kind of ironic this guy is
Oh,
talking
my
about
gosh.
violence.
Yeah, right.
While he shocks his dog. His dog's literally not even doing anything. He's just, as you said, he's circling in the background.
Yep.
Did Stefano say an Arctic blast next week?
He did say an Arctic blast.
Did.
Something to look forward to. It's 9:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I hope it brings snow. That'd be cool.
This early?
Yeah, dude. Why not?
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying I'd be very surprised if Tennessee brought snow at this time.
A lot of people are mad today because of the election results. I don't think an Arctic blast is going to make them in a better mood.
Snow would solve everything.
Snow would. It's beginning to look.
You can tell who the two people are from the Northeast on this show.
Listen, we got these sleds that we got for the kids one year for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we've gotten like 6 uses out of them. So
Listen,
I'm just trying to. I'm just focused on my ROI. I need a return on that investment.
That's fair. That's
Let's be honest. All right, we're talking about the election results from last night. Donald Trump meeting with Senate Republicans this morning. And he's talking about the election results. I want to get your input, too. You are more than welcome to call in, 615-737-9986, to discuss the results last night. Where does the Republicans go from here? I was listening to Matt Murphy yesterday, as I tend to do in the afternoon, and I loved what he said. He's got some rules for callers. Did you know that Matt has rules? He's got some rules.
Those rules weren't in place when I've worked for him.
He's got some rules. Don't read to me. and don't be boring. I would like to co-opt those rules.
I'm here for it.
So anything else when it comes to the election, 615-737-9986. The president this morning talking about the Democrats' victory last night.
And last night it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. But we had an interesting evening, and we learned a lot. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll say a few remarks, and then after that I'll ask the press to leave. The press has been very, very nice to us the last couple of months. They were great to us in terms of the foreign visits with China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia.
Wasn't a victory. We didn't expect a victory, but we learned a lot. Yeah, we did. We learned that the Democrats are absolutely going to unify behind extremism. Nailed it. We learned that the Democrats are going even further left. Yep. And we learned that it doesn't seem like there's much fire in the Republican Party and the movement right now. President Trump went on, and he said that he's going to have a closed-door discussion. It's going to be a discussion about ending the filibuster, which is something I think we need to do. Brian on the road. What do you think about the filibuster and the election last night? Yo, Brian.
Election.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Dude, I just sent a text to my whole family that said it's so sad that the city that endured 9/11 elected such a anti-American, anti-Semite, evil, tells you to your face what he's going to do to you, and you still put him in office or do to us. Now, I get it's a melting pot. I get that, and I'm happy for people that come in here legally. But
I'm so tired of having to do the precursors, and I'm not blaming you. Like, we all do it. Like, I'm not talking about the legal immigrants. It's like, but do you know what really happened? Like, I'm convinced New Yorkers didn't forget. Real, tried and true New Yorkers did not forget what happened on September 11th. Do you know what happened? Democrats imported the third world. And when the third world got here, the third world did what the third world does.
You're exactly right. And they don't acclimate on purpose. And we don't hold them accountable to do that. Even though I guess after the legalities are done, we can't.
Listen, we've been saying
you're exactly right.
How long have we been saying that the Democrats are importing new voters? And do we need to look any further than New York City last night to see what that result is going to be?
My God. And Virginia puts an AG in. You know, you can't take back stuff, but you can we all should be repentant. We're all savable by God.
We all fall short, man, myself included.
But I know, and I thank you for being the guy that you are, Chris, because a lot of men that listen to you may not own up to it, but we all need to go to our knees, and it's okay. It's not a give up of the man card.
No.
You know, I called in yesterday and bragged about my colonoscopy, and I shouldn't have done that maybe, but it was on my mind, and I lived through it, and I've been telling everybody today, you know, I work at U-Haul, and I've been telling everybody today, I think I've lost my man card because I can't remember anything. So what happened to me? But we all need to be a little bit humble, and you are very humble, I think. You're very smart, and that may come across to some people as you're strong and you're whatever, and they don't like it. You know, like Trump, he's a brilliant guy. He's brilliant. He's been touched by God, and we need to hold him up in his team right now more than ever. But I think you're right. It's going to play good next year. It'll give us enough time to get a taste of this, you know what?
I hope so. I hope that we remember what losing feels like after the first. I mean, like the first 10 months of Trump, we've had a lot of victories. Let's taste a little defeat today, and let's realize how bad it can be. And let's reorganize, let's re-energize, and let's get ready for 2026, and let's not be asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, I've been talking to some guys at work. God disciplines those he loves. We don't like it, but sometimes we get off the main track, and we need to be guided back to the main track. Thanks for taking my call, brother.
Amen.
Y'all have a great day.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. I think that Republicans need to get out there and fight. Donald Trump agrees. Donald Trump said he's going to have a closed-door discussion. He said this morning. They had the press in the room. He's meeting with Senate Republicans. And he says, we're going to have a closed-door discussion. And I hope that the discussion is a bit more of demanding. And I hope that the discussion is a bit more scolding. And I hope that he lays out that if we don't continue to fight as hard as we can, we are looking at a lame duck presidency after 2026. And it's not something that I say gleefully. That's a warning. We have to be willing to get in the mud and fight. President Trump says one of the ways to do that is removing the filibuster.
But I thought we'd have a discussion after the press leaves about what last night represented and what we should do about it, and also about the shutdown and how that relates to last night. I think if you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans. And that was a big factor. And they say that I wasn't on the ballot was the biggest factor. But I don't know about that. But I was honored that they said that. And I just want to thank everybody for being here.
Closed door discussion on the way, ending the filibuster. The shutdown was a big reason. Trump not being on the ballot was a big reason. I couldn't help myself but chuckle a little bit, even though I'm like a bit perturbed today. The fact that he goes, well, I don't know if I believe that, but I was very honored. I was very honored they said it. Whoo, lad. John in Texas on the election last night. What do you got, John?
Hey, Chris, I'm glad to talk to you. I just had a thought with everybody going to come out of New York. It ought to be like a Grapes of Wrath moment where, just like when Oklahoma had to move out to Texas and all. Glad to talk to you, and we'll let you go.
Hey, man, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate you listening in Texas. I just think that the Republicans need to get back out there and fight. I hope that this does wake people up. I hope that this does put a sour taste in conservatives' mouths. We just lost the greatest city in America. And it's been a slow process. It was drip, drip, waterfall, right? Like it's been a drip, 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 and last night was the waterfall when we elect a communist socialist mayor. It's insane. First Muslim mayor of New York City. I retweeted a meme this morning. New Yorkers forgot. And it's a picture of Zoran, and it's a picture of the Twin Towers. And again, I make the case, I don't think that New Yorkers just forgot. I think that drip, drip, drip made a lot of them leave, and they imported a lot of new people. And those new people don't have the same values as your New Yorker classic. They just don't. And we saw that last night in the election results. Donald Trump wants the Senate Republicans to get back to work today.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so that's a long time. But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill.
He's right. And he's also correct. 3.25 years, it's a long time. It's also a very, very short time. And when you shrink that down to where we are at heading into midterms, we could shave 2 years off of that very, very easily if we give the Democrats control of the House and the Senate again. You understand that, right? Everybody understands that? We were on our high horse a year ago, man. 12 years of Republican control, myself included. I will fully admit that to you. Felt good. We were riding that high. Okay. Have you come down from the high? Can we get realistic? Can we continue to fight? Do the Senate Republicans have any fight left? Are they willing to get rid of the filibuster? Trump says they need to.
And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open. Congratulations. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass no mail-in voting. We should pass all the things that we want to pass, make our elections secure and safe, because California is a disaster. Yep. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station, you give ID. But for voting, they want no voter ID. That's only for one reason, because they cheat.
This is one of my big things, right? People are like, oh, the Democrats still use it. Oh, if we get rid of the filibuster, they're going to use it against us. And I would wish them the best of luck. If we can implement voter ID, if we can get rid of mail-in ballots, if we can do all these things without the filibuster there, we got secure elections, bro. And then we don't have a repeat of what we saw in 2020. Listen, we can say there were shenanigans. There's a high level of distrust in those election results, and what was key? No voter ID, mail-in ballots. Can we make some moves? Trump wants to make moves. Do you also want to make some moves? I think if we get rid of the filibuster, the Democrats are going to have a much tougher uphill battle to regain the House and the Senate in the midterms. And if they can't regain the House and the Senate in the midterms, then they're going to have an uphill battle for 2028. Because we'll be able to rack up more victories. And again, we need to refocus on getting victories here domestically. I'm not against the foreign policy wins, and I celebrate them. Donald Trump can do it better than anybody. But we've witnessed that. We need to refocus here on home. Trump says one of the ways to do that is getting rid of the filibuster. I agree with him.
We would pass that in 15 minutes. If you don't get it, you'll never pass that. You'll never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's correct. Even Jimmy Carter, they had the Carter Commission after he got out of office, and he had a group of very distinguished people, Democrats and Republicans, and they passed, they recommended things take place. It was a long time ago. And they said about mail-in ballots, if there is mail-in ballots, there will definitely be corruption because, they pass through too many hands. I mean, you go in to vote and they want you cut.
He's right. Trump is right. You know it. I know it. And we have to be fearless here. The biggest argument that I've heard against nuking the filibuster is what happens if the Democrats use it? Oh, the Democrats are going to then they're going to have that. It's like, guys, are we going to operate from a place of fear or are we going to operate from a place of strength? I prefer the latter. 615-737-9986. Got time for one call real quick, and then we'll get to more of your calls on the way. Rick in Nashville, your thoughts.
Hey, Chris, I think you're exactly right on the filibuster, and I think we absolutely need to go on and stack the court while Trump is president, because it will be done as soon as the Democrats take office.
I'm with you, man, and I appreciate the call, Rick. 9:51, we'll take more of your calls on the way. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Cabinet Makeovers. We just made an awesome investment in our kitchen a couple months back. Pull-out cabinets and this unbelievable pull-out pantry. We knew we needed to make the investment into the kitchen. My wife wanted the pull-out cabinets. I wasn't exactly sold on them. I wasn't against them. But I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Tell you what, since they've been installed, I love these pull-out cabinets that Dan over at Cabinet Makeovers installed. If you need to make an investment in your home, do it with a family-owned company that's been serving Middle Tennessee for 45 years. Cabinet Makeovers are the best. Everything they do is Tennessee-made. Every cabinet they installed in my home, every pull-out, every drawer, all wood construction, full extension, soft close glides. These cabinets are immaculate, and you can feel that every time you open them. Now, when you're not bending down and digging for pots and pans, it's a huge upgrade. They don't just stop at kitchens. If you need to make an investment elsewhere in your house, Cabinet Makeovers will do custom closets, pantries, cabinetry for every room in your house, all built with the same Tennessee pride and biblical values that guide their business. So do what I did. Call Dan over at Cabinet Makeovers. 615-331-7010. 615-331-7010. Find pictures of their work online. It'll help you make the decision today. CabinetMakeoversTN.com.
Did you see these people in Washington, D.C. and their stupid chant?
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
So here's why this is dumb. Because Donald Trump sending in the National Guard is to stop the murders. Donald Trump is actually saving lives. Over the last 2.5 years, they have had 561 black people murdered in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump is sending in the National Guard to stop the crime. So Donald Trump is actually saving black lives.
This is massive. This is Armenia and Azerbaijan. This is nearly 4 decades of fighting in the region. Both leaders of each nation are coming here to the White House.
For more than 35 years, Armenia and Azerbaijan have fought a bitter conflict that resulted in tremendous suffering for both nations. They suffered gravely for so many years. Many tried to find a resolution, including the European Union. The Russians worked very hard on it, never happened. Sleepy Joe Biden tried, but you know what happened there? He tried for probably 12 minutes and didn't work out.
Have you seen this done with any other president, the way he's leveraging the economy and trade?
Absolutely not. I mean, this is 7 peace deals in 7 months, and it's unbelievable. I mean, President Trump is the only guy who can come together and do it. He can do it right.
Up ahead, audio from the Supreme Court as justices are hearing arguments on President Trump's tariffs. It's coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can't get rid of the filibuster. You can't. The Democrats will regain power, and then they'll have no filibuster to stop them.
If I thought that they weren't going to pass the filibuster, I wouldn't even bring it up. They're going to pass it within the first hour. If they take power, and it's more likely that they take power if we don't do it, because we're not going to be passing any legislation. They're not going to approve anything. We're going to go 3.25 years. There won't be one bill that we're going to pass, because the easiest thing to pass is exactly right now what they won't pass. And they'll do that, and they'll wreak havoc. But let's assume they get in. They're doing it anyway, so it wouldn't matter. They're doing it anyway. And, you know, I have a case where I have great U.S. attorneys that can't be approved because of the blue slips. The blue slips, I think you should terminate blue slips, too. It's a mental termination because it's really a custom. But if you have a Democrat senator or two is bad, but it doesn't make any difference. If you have one senator writes a negative letter on some great U.S. attorney, we had it in Manhattan, Southern District, Jay Clayton, one of the most respected lawyers in the whole country, by far, one of the most respected, and couldn't get approved. The courts approved him. The courts couldn't believe it. They did it like instantly. He went to the best schools, got the best marks, top of his class. Everything was perfect. I mean, he was led the perfect life. Went to Sullivan and Cromwell.
But what happens if the Democrats regain power, Chris? Okay. So let's not fight now. Got it. Jamie, on the road. What do you got?
Hey, man, I was thinking about the whole proposition that passed in California.
Prop 50.
And would love for you to dig into that a little bit, how that's going to affect us. And then, is there anything that we can do about it here in Tennessee? Or is there something that we can do about it to help fight back against that? Or is it kind of a done thing?
I mean, well, so California is going to be a done deal. Is there anything that we can do about it in Tennessee? Yeah, we could fight. We could try and redistrict and finagle another seat potentially. We're also waiting for that Supreme Court Act on, what is it? It's the Voter Registration Act? No, it's not it. There's a Supreme Court decision coming, Voter Rights Act, Section 2, where they basically carved out voting districts for minorities because of racism in the past. The Supreme Court looks like they're ready to get rid of that, which is going to eliminate a lot of Democrat seats in a lot of southern states. We need to keep fighting, absolutely, and we need to celebrate the wins that we got. Ohio, people were mad in Ohio because they redistricted their maps and they only got, I believe, 2 new seats. That's 2 more than we had. Imagine if we did that with every Republican-led state. And it doesn't matter how many seats California's getting out of it. I think they're getting 5. Okay. I'm also not going to be upset with California redistricting because I wasn't upset with Texas redistricting. Do you know what I'm saying? So, hey man, do what you want to do. And southern states, conservative states, pay attention. Know what time it is. Let's get on the horse and let's fight, man. 10:01 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. There is still a crash being worked on 24 westbound in Jolton this morning. Got to tell you about this. It's just past Whites Creek Pike, and the through lanes are all blocked off this morning. Careful as you go. It looks like drivers are passing on the right shoulder in that spot. In the news, the Supreme Court justice is now hearing oral arguments on the legality of President Trump's Liberation Day tariffs imposed on dozens of countries, including China, Mexico, and Canada. U.S. Solicitor General John Sauer presenting his arguments before the Supreme Court justices.
The power to impose tariffs is a core application of the power to regulate foreign commerce.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor, however, questioning Department of Justice officials on that case.
I just don't understand this argument. It's not an article. It's a congressional power, not a presidential power to tax. And you want to say tariffs are not taxes, but that's exactly what they are.
Now, this ruling could impact tens of billions in tax revenue and affect trade worldwide with some of the U.S. largest trade partners. Well, the government shutdown enters a new record today. It's at 36 days. And this morning, President Trump hosted a breakfast with Republican senators to get some ideas going about how to end the shutdown. He's using the gathering to call on senators to end the filibuster.
It's time. It's time. If I thought they weren't going to approve, I'd sort of be with you. It'd be fine. I'd be neutral to with you. But knowing that they're going to pass it as soon as they get any semblance of control, they'll pass it first thing, then it's like we have to do it first.
In attendance at that breakfast, Rand Paul, who has been voting against the CR and with Democrats throughout the shutdown. Meantime, in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee announced a $5 million emergency fund to help food banks across Tennessee as demand increases at food pantries across the state. Also, the state's new website to help people receive LIHEAP or help on their heating bills is back up and running now after it crashed on Monday, its very first day of operation. The Tennessee Housing Development Agency says you can apply now at thda.smartsimple.us. It's long. I'll add a link to my X account. You can find me there at Joan Jones WTN. And a school bus filled with students crashed in Chattanooga this morning as that bus was en route to school. Chattanooga first responders had to cut away the driver's side of the bus to remove the trapped bus driver. The driver has been hospitalized. Now, it doesn't appear that any of the kids were hurt. Police say the bus left the roadway and ended up in the woods. They are investigating the cause of the crash. That is the latest news. We've got weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch the show. Super Talk TV, up and running. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. Please do it. It helps grow the footprint of the radio station, the digital footprint. That's a big deal. It honestly is. Radio, it's a ever-changing medium. The internet, though, is expanding fast. And if you guys can help us grow that footprint, it would really help the radio station and all the hosts here. Myself, Benson, Mandis, Murphy, everybody would get a boon from it, and we'd be able to serve you guys even better. So if you could hit like, you could hit subscribe, that would be much appreciated on YouTube and on Rumble. Thank you for doing so. Donald Trump, he's making the argument for removing the filibuster this morning at a breakfast with Republican senators.
But I think it's a tremendous mistake, really. It would be a tragic mistake, actually. It's time. It's time. If I thought they weren't going to approve, I'd sort of be with you. It'd be fine. I'd be neutral to with you. But knowing that they're going to pass it as soon as they get any semblance of control, they'll pass it first thing, then it's like we have to do it first. And we have 2 years, and we'll end up with 2-3 years, and we'll have this country so perfect. We will have passed more legislation than any Congress and any group of senators or a group of congressmen. And we will get it through. They'll send it to us. We'll send it to them. It'll be a beautiful machine. Otherwise, we're just going to sit around and argue with these people all day long. And, and they're highly unrealistic. Highly unrealistic.
Is that what you want? You want to just sit around and argue with Dems all day long? Who dig their heels in for political reasons? You know that it's already being reported that there are now, this is from Punchbowl News, there's more than a dozen Senate Dems engaging with Republicans on reopening the government now that the elections are over. Who could have seen that coming? Who could have guessed that? I'm tired of this stuff. We have a small window of opportunity. Trump says 2 years. I think it's less than that. I think we got 6 to 9 months to make sure that we win over the hearts and the minds of the American public, up to and especially including young voters. We need to rack up some domestic wins, and we need to do it very, very quickly. Get rid of the filibuster. Implement voter ID nationwide. Scrap mail-in ballots. Let's focus on winning here at home. Dave, my favorite Hebrew, is on the road. Wants to talk about the filibuster. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, I try to avoid guys like Tim Pool, and as much as I really like Glenn Beck, I try to avoid him too, because I'm not in for the whole gloom and doom and, you know, it's over, Civil War's coming type stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But seriously, like I've thought this out, and I want your opinion, and anybody who's listening. So we have Mondami, right?
Yep.
Mondami gets in. He's a Democrat socialist. He decides he wants to do whatever the heck he wants to do. Constitution, federal law be damned. New York, I'm going to do what I want to do. How many Mondamis you think are in the New York State House? So the State House says, okay, cool. You can do that. Well, that's in contravention of federal law. Well, what happened? So where does this stop logically? So we're talking about Marcus of Queensberry rules in the Senate with the filibuster?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's
a huge issue.
We do have a huge issue, and I think we need to address it. I'm not doom and gloom either. In fact, I'm actually relatively hopeful because of the election results last night. Like, I do think that this is the kick in the shorts that we needed.
That's what I hope it is.
You know what I mean?
I hope
like,
it scares the hell out of everybody.
I'm with you 100%. And there are people out there that are talking about going on offense today. Tyler Boyer over at Turning Point Action, he tweeted about an hour ago, our team can tell you exactly how many bodies you need to chase ballots for any race in America to win, and if it's plausible to win. The question, though, and this is what Tyler Boyer says on X, the question is if others will fund and do the work. We have a unique moment to harness positive energy, learn, grow, and get serious. Are we going to take advantage of the moment? I mean, that's the big question.
Well, I mean, there's my dad was a retired Navy captain and a Vietnam vet, and he used to say, "Time and tide wait for no man."
Yep.
So
you're absolutely right. Hey, I appreciate the
You
call,
know.
Dave, and
Have a good one, Chris.
I'm
Take it easy.
always glad to hear from you, man. Stay safe out there. Mike Johnson, a little while ago, was going scorched earth against Zohran Mamdani and the Democrat Party.
What their own polls show, the leadership of the Democratic Party is the most unpopular with members of their own Democratic base. And we saw that in the elections last night. The old guard is desperately trying to use this shutdown to show the radical Marxist wing of their party that they can look tough to President Trump. That's because the new power center of the left isn't the moderates. It's the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders and the Mamdanis of the party. It's the activists who believe capitalism is evil, who disdain the founding principles of their own country. They claim that the salvation of our nation will be brought about by bigger government and more bureaucracy. Look what happened in New York City last night. For the first time in American history, an avowed, openly proclaimed socialist has been elected as the mayor of America's largest city.
The craziest part about all of that is it wasn't a shocker. You know what I mean? It wasn't a shocker. Nobody was surprised. Everybody saw it coming. Same with the other election results, admittedly. I mean, the only one that I thought that we had a real shot at would have been Jack Ciattarelli in New Jersey for governor. But we saw what happened there. The radicals did what radicals do, and bomb threats were called in, and shenanigans were engaged. And I don't know if they'll ever be able to prove it, but doesn't really pass the sniff test, if you ask me. 615-737-9986. If you want to join the conversation, let's go to Adam on the road. Adam, what's up, man? What do you got?
Hey, Chris. I was calling about the whole Zohran Mamdani thing, and we can sit here in Tennessee and say that's in New York City. It's not going to affect us. That's wrong. What they're doing in New York City is what they want to do in every major city, Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville included. What I'm doing and what I'm suggesting that a lot of people do, and I know that Trump has already talked about withholding federal funds for these socialist programs that they have in mind for the Big Apple, but I've already reached out to my congressman and soon to be my senator that there needs to be legislation put in place that no bailouts for these guys. No federal money needs to go when they fail, because they will.
Yeah.
And that law needs to be on the books because, like we said, when the Democrats get in power, they're gonna be the ones bailing them out, and you know it's gonna happen eventually. So we need the law in place.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, we're constantly bailing out these blue cities already. I mean, you look at how much federal funds are going to places like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. I mean, even not to get off on a rabbit trail, but I was reading something the other night, and it's like, do you know why Chicago really doesn't want the crime problem solved? It's because they receive millions upon millions of dollars federal funding every single year to fight crime, and when the crime goes away, so does the federal funding. They desperately need the teat of the federal government in these cities to survive. And then they vote in a guy like Zohran Mamdani, who is going to absolutely nosedive New York. And then the people that foot the tax bill, they're going to leave. And to Adam's point, when that money, that tax base leaves, they're going to cry out for help. Oh, how did this happen? How could this be? We need you. We need you, federal government. And yeah, if the Democrats take power again, the Democrats will bail them out. 100%. Mike Johnson, earlier this morning, message to all Americans after we watched these Marxists win in New York City. This was Mike Johnson.
Many of whom represent districts with much less blue than New York City have embraced him with open arms. And because his brand of Marxism is truly a bellwether for the Democrats nationwide, we pointed out that other major metropolitan areas in the country are facing the same threat with candidates similar to Mamdani. And we're going to continue to call out their effort to mainstream and normalize socialism and Marxism in America. Working families watching this play out have a right to know that socialism and communism are not just confined in New York City. They are quickly coming to a town near you unless you stand up and let your voice of common sense be heard.
He's right. Does this light a fire under your rear end? Have you felt the kick in the shorts? Are you ready to do something? It's going to be an all hands on deck thing. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, we're in a unique position here in Tennessee. There's so many transplants that we have a unique ability to touch so many different states and so many different elections. Are you willing to take the gloves off come the midterms? Are you willing to get your hands dirty? Are you going to make the phone calls? Are you going to send the text messages? Are you going to get organized? Are you going to call organizations like Turning Point Action or even Americans for Prosperity and say, what can I do to help you guys? What can I do to make sure that this ideology doesn't take root? What can we do to make sure that the Democrats don't regain power ever again? Or are you going to just hope and sit on your hands and watch the Democrats regain the House and the Senate in a year, and then we get impeachments instead? I mean, now's the time to start making those decisions for yourself. What are you going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm already making phone calls. I want to do more. I want to do so much more. How can I get back in the fight? What can I do? Ask yourself the same question. Please ask yourself the same question. Let's go to Christine in Nashville. What's up, Christine? How are you?
Hi, good morning to you. So, listen, I used to live and work in New York City, and I was there during 9/11. So I personally have never forgotten the death, the destruction, what happened on that day. And it just appalls me, and it hurts my heart that these people in New York City have voted for a Muslim who clearly hates Jews, wants to kill and destroy them, and hates Americans, and wants to kill and destroy them. And that's what they voted for?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing that I would say, Christine, and I made this point earlier, and no worries if you're just tuning in, but I don't necessarily think New Yorkers forgot. I think New Yorkers saw the writing on the wall and they left. And then we saw the Democrats import the third world. And I think that one of the reasons that we have Zohran Mamdani as the mayor of New York City today is a direct result of the radical immigration via the left. And I think that you're going to have a hard time proving me wrong there.
No, I hear what you're saying. I still shake my head over this. Somebody is going to run one of the largest cities in the country, and
it's the financial capital of the world.
He's going to take that money, and it's going to be a lot of it's going to be funneled to his people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Christine. This is what they all do, right? Both sides funnel the money to their people, and I appreciate the call. Michelle in Clarksville, you're up next on Super Talk. What's up, Michelle?
So Randami, this new mayor of New York, and I don't want to say what his religion is, but my take is that once I'm not in favor of him, I really believe that once he starts messing up, not knowing the Constitution, not knowing the regulations and the laws that we live by here in this country, that the people are going to rise against him and impeach him, and he's going to be done. I really believe that.
Listen, in a city like New York, I do feel like that's a bit wishful thinking. I do. I think a lot of the people there are really excited to have a Democrat socialist in their mayor spot, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. Scott Jennings was talking about Zohran Mamdani's win. I'll bring you that when we get back. Plus, we'll take more of your phone calls. We got a full phone screen in there. Mason is keeping his heart rate up by jumping back and forth between doing the video and the board and answering your phone calls. So shout out to Mason. But we'll get to all you guys. Scott, Alan, Wayne, Bobby, hang on the line. 1021 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? This is a message for dads in the Nashville area. My name's Chris Hand, and I want to tell you about All Pro Dad. This is an unbelievable organization, and they got an All Pro Dad experience coming to Nashville Friday night, Nissan Stadium. All Pro Dad, what do? Well, they've been helping fathers lead and love their family well for nearly 30 years. It was founded by Coach Tony Dungy and Mark Merrill, and their mission is to equip men for the most important job that we are ever going to have. Spoiler alert, it's not this job I have right here. It's the job I have at home. It's being a dad. Here's how it works. You spend 1 minute a day with their emails, giving yourself some encouragement, some tips for the day. You spend 1 hour a week listening to some podcasts on fatherhood. You spend 1 hour a month working with school chapters, connecting dads with their kids. There's 80 of them here in Middle Tennessee. And then you spend 1 day a year at an All Pro Dad experience, which is this event that's happening on Friday night. It's going to be packed with interactive games, life lessons, and quality time with the kids. Now, before you ask, yes, you are invited if you're a single mom. The goal of All Pro Dad isn't really just about being great dads. It's about raising great kids, and we want you there as well. If you're a grandparent raising grandkids, yes, we absolutely want you there as well. Friday, November 7th, Nissan Stadium. Give the kids a day they'll never forget. Tickets are affordable, $35 for the whole family. You use promo code DAD, you get an extra $5 off. Go to allprodad.com to register, subscribe, and find a chapter near you. Be the dad your kids deserve. Be an All Pro Dad.
Got an update to the UPS plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky. The number of missing persons has risen. That and more coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. Looking forward to the updates. As always, Joan, we got Mason Fleming producing, and we got you guys on the phone line, 615-737-9986. My name's Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. You can listen to us anywhere. You can watch us, Super Talk TV, YouTube, and Rumble are the big ones. Hit like, hit subscribe, taking all your phone calls right now. Let's go to Alan in Lebanon. What's up, Al?
Hey.
What you got, man?
I was wanting to talk about, it seems like the Mondani guy, it seems like a lot of these blue states are getting elected. To me, my theory is that they weren't being taught what socialism does in school. A lot of the subjects seem to be taken out.
Yeah, I mean, but who controls the school systems?
Well, that's where they come into the Board of Education, Department of Education. Seems like they took a lot of that stuff out. That's why Trump was trying to get rid of it, so they couldn't be indoctrinated, it almost seems like.
Yep, it is just that, my friend. It is the public indoctrination system. And I don't know if they necessarily tout the benefits of socialism, but they definitely omit socialism. Scott in the borough, what do you got today?
Hey, yeah, this is going to change everything with as far as the TV programming going. Like you got Blue Bloods out there, NYPD Blue and stuff like that. You know, they could make all kind of money on this as far as their programs go. Instead of having the cops show up to the scene, you know, they'll have like the social worker showing up to the scene. You know, and they'll have like a van that's got like, say they're taking fire, they'll have a van that's got like furry animals in it, or a safe place they can go, and they'll be trying to talk them down, or a bank robber. Just think of all the different TV programming like signals they could put out there for the masses to watch. It'd be awesome.
Law and Order, social worker unit. Yeah, SWU.
Yeah, it'd be like instead of the cops showing up, it'd be like them showing up, the SWAT team and everything. They'll be gone. They'll have like the people with purple hair showing up with the little gay flag or whatever. I shouldn't have said that.
Here's a pride flag. Awesome. I hope you feel better.
Yeah. Don't take that person's groceries because you can't get it no more because we ran out of food. But here you go. Here's this. You can rub this and you'll feel better. And it's going to be good.
Well, I love that.
I think they'll be able to spin it.
I love that you're bringing the silver lining, Scott. Thank you so much. Let's go to Wayne in Nashville. What do you got, Wayne?
Well, I was looking at some of the results last night, in particular the Virginia results, and looking at the demographics. And, we know that in 2020 there was a lot of unscrupulous cheating going on in the presidential election. And I think as Republicans and citizens, I think we lost sight of that because last night, if you look at the demographics for the Virginia governor's race, those demographics, they were too hard line between race. You had a black governor candidate that's already had 4 years, and then you had a white governor candidate, both females. Mm-hmm. Yet the majority of the minorities went with the white female, and the white males overwhelmingly went with the white female. But in the demographics, the black, Hispanic, and other Asian, other demographics, they all went for the white Democrat.
Yeah.
And to me, that throws up a red flag because when we're looking at races that are separated by race, and you've had a historical number of blacks voting because a person was black, and that's what the Democrats say. The Democrats push, hey, we got a black candidate. You need to vote for the black candidate because the candidate's black. But yet you have a demographic of women and black voters and black women voters that are overwhelmingly going for the white candidate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon described as vote blue no matter who. And then as far as Hispanic voters, you saw Trump make some major gains with Hispanic voters. But I think that a lot of Hispanic voters are looking at Donald Trump and what he promised to do here domestically, and they're thinking, is this just another Bush kind of administration? And they're swinging the other way. As far as young male voters, same issue. You're getting out of college and you're not able to get a job because H-1B visas are taking those jobs. If we want to win these demographics, we need to get these jobs back to American citizens. That way they can start working and they can start paying taxes. And once they start paying taxes, we got them.
Well, one other segue is your caller earlier, Christine, I think was her name.
Yes.
Said she lived in New York City. She was from there. My question is, and she's upset with the way things are going there, obviously, but why did she move out of New York City? Why did she move down here where she's at now? And how long ago?
Well, and this
Did
is
she just get tired of it and say, I give up and I'm leaving?
and this is the point this is the point I made on New York City, and I appreciate the call. The point on New York City isn't that New Yorkers forgot what happened on 9/11. The point is that it's been drip, drip, drip. They've been leaving, and they've been replaced by third worlders and other immigrants. And this is the direct result of that. Everybody knows it. 10:32. Sorry, I went a little late. Joan Jones. Here's the news on Super Talk.
Good morning, now 10:32, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And we have breaking news this morning. Metro Nashville police have just captured a man who had been seen firing shots from a red Nissan Sentra while driving in the south end of Nashville, especially near Waikiki Boulevard. WSMV4 reporting that man had been wearing a camo hat and a tan coat. He was carrying a long gun inside Plaza Mariachi. Several schools are still on lockdown at this moment. But again, that man just moments ago has been captured. He had been firing shots out of his car while driving around in South Nashville. We'll have more on this. Ken Weaver will get us all caught up on that within the next half hour as this news is just breaking this morning. A big case before the Supreme Court this morning, whether President Trump's global tariffs were a gross overstep or a lawful action protected by the presidency. ABC's Peter Harlem-Booth says that some of the president's own justice appointees appear skeptical of the administration's approach here.
We've heard skepticism from at least 3 different conservative justices at this point. We have seen skepticism from Justice Barrett, Justice Roberts, and recently Neil Gorsuch, who basically said that this is basically, if they accept the Trump administration's argument, Congress delegating complete foreign authority, going as far as declaring wars to the president without any kind of oversight.
They have raised questions about the fact that the president is the first one to ever use the law in question. The death toll now at 9 in that fiery crash of the MD-11 cargo plane operated by UPS and at the Louisville, Kentucky airport. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg asking residents there to lend a hand as the NTSB investigates.
We ask that nobody touch any debris if there is debris from this crash on your property, but you register that online just as we do after other large incidents so that we can track that and come out.
And an update is expected here from Governor Andy Beshear within the next couple of moments. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, that pain in your neck is going to be a lot easier to fix than the situation happening in New York. I guarantee it. And it's going to be a lot less expensive than the situation in New York. I'm talking about my friends over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Hey, it's Chris Hand, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, taking care of you for just $12. It's the Big Daddy Trump special, still going on now. $12 gets you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. All of that for just $12. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley aren't going to give up on getting you back to a pain-free life, no matter what it is. Back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs. And they're not going to treat it with painful injections, surgery, or opioids. I know it's a radical take. What they're going to do is they're going to use non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, and anti-gravity machines. These guys are going to do what works for you, and they're not going to break the bank. So give them a call today. Grab your MRI and get ready to finally understand your condition and fix it. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or find them online, painisbad.com. It's 10:39, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. Why? Why would you need them? Does anybody, Mason, do you know why we would need them?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
BetterWater.com, that's a reason.
That's a pretty good reason.
It's definitely a reason. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeart, TuneIn, the FM dial. You can watch us, Super Talk TV, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. Scott Jennings, he's looking a little smug last night on CNN. Did you see him? Looking a little smug. Because Scott Jennings knows exactly what's going to happen in New York City after the election of one Zohran Mamdani.
Scott? Oh. Are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote. No problem too large for government to solve.
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can.
He's 100% right. And I know we're a little bit removed from Halloween, but Reagan nailed it. The most terrifying words you can hear. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah, he did. He quoted the guy that was running as a socialist for president. We all saw the speech. Well, I don't know if you saw it. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I sat through it. If you missed it, this is Zohran Mamdani quoting Eugene Debs, the founder of the Socialist Party of America.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said,
a lot of cheers.
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Socialism has failed. Communism has failed every single time it's been tried. But this time will be different, I'm sure. Let's go to Bobby in Nashville. Bobby's been holding for a minute. What do you got, Bob?
Hey, Chris, I won't keep you long. The thing about this Mommy Kondami or whatever his name is, he told everybody while he was running what he was going to do, and these people voted for him anyway.
Yep.
And your caller that called earlier talking about the lady that supposedly left New York City, hey, I go to WOC in Murfreesboro, and I've spoken with a lot of people that's moved down here from New York, California, and their thing is, hey, I didn't come down here to change anything. I'm just like you. I vote like you. We had to get away from high taxes and all that stuff. If you ask them, do you plan on going back? Never. We never plan on going back. But here's a kicker. I'll tell you this. The biggest and the fastest growing ethnic group in the United States is the Muslims. And they've told people over here what they're going to do. What we're going to do, and they're doing it. And these wacko Republicans are set on their thumbs. Man, they need to get up. And Mikey Johnson needs to, when he's doing an interview on TV, he needs to bring that board out and show in that board, his CR, where the money's going. Well, how much money is actually going to the illegals and everything with their insurance? I mean, I don't know, man. We're just going to have to stand up or form another party. We're going to have to do something, brother. What's your intake?
I'm with you. I think the biggest issue is that radical Islam, which, I mean, let's be honest, all forms of Islam are radical. It's not compatible with Western society. You can be mad at me all you want. It's just the reality of the situation. I don't make the rules. I'm just laying it out for you. Islam communism. They love a good 100-year plan, and they're fine with being patient. You know, we used to be patient in Western society. You'd have guys that would spend their whole life building wonderful, beautiful things. Notre Dame comes to mind. You had guys that would work on that for their entire life. They would die before seeing its completion. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to doing hard work because it's the right thing to do, even if we don't see the results, we don't see the fruit. Let's plant those trees. The Western world, though, it seems like we're only caring about 2 and 4 year cycles. That's it. That's it. And I'll tell you what, we've had a good 10 months under President Trump, but midterms are going to slap us in the face if we don't get serious. It's just the reality. I hope that you understand the reality. Democrats are mad. Democrats are motivated, and they're stupid. They're going to vote blue no matter who, and they're going to be energized. Are you going to be energized? Are the Republicans going to be willing to fight? I hope we get some good news out of the Supreme Court today on the tariff stuff. I hope we get some good news from the Republicans today and they nuke the filibuster. I hope we actually see some fight from our elected representatives. But we're probably just going to get tough talk from podiums, unfortunately. Pete in Greenbrier, you're up next on Super Talk. What do you got, Pete?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, Trump said he'll defund the guy, right? He won't give him money to bail out. But I don't think there's anything stopping him from getting funding from another country, i.e. a Muslim country, for his city projects to make them succeed. And it only needs just 4 years to succeed and then go on to something else. What do you think?
I mean, I guess it would depend on how that money comes in, right? Like,
well, he can't get campaign contributions, but I believe he can get money for projects and fund and city projects. I didn't say anything on the internet that said he couldn't, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. It's interesting and definitely worth exploring, but I appreciate the thought. That's Pete in Greenbrier. Let's go to Ricky in Watertown. What do you got, Ricky?
I can't believe after 9/11 they elected this man. What worries me, I hadn't heard a peep about it, is he'll try to go after the Dow Jones somehow to get money.
I mean, well, I keep hearing the talking point of New Yorkers forgot, and I fell prey to it myself. It's low hanging fruit, right? You elect a Muslim mayor, and you go, New York forgot. New York forgot. But this has been a drip waterfall in New York. Let's not beat around the bush. You had New Yorkers that were never going to forget and haven't forgotten. They've left. They've left because of high taxes. They've left because of crime. And in their absence, the void has been filled via mass immigration of third worlders. And these mass immigration third worlders come in, and they get free phones, they get free rent, they get free food, and they're really sucking off the tea to the government. So when another official comes along and he's promising more free things, yeah, they're going to vote that guy in. And that's just the reality of what we're facing. I don't think necessarily New Yorkers forgot. I think that the New Yorkers were replaced. And I think that you can make a strong argument for that. Just my 2 cents. Appreciate the call, Ricky. Let's go to Fred in Kentucky. What's up, Fred? How we doing, man?
Oh, doing great, man. Great job. I've been listening all day, and I haven't noticed anybody talking about the aspect of election rigging, fraud, engineering, illegal voting. There are reports from all over, especially New York. They didn't win this thing. My problem with some of the hosts is they're like, all these people voted for this. They deserve what they get. They voted for this. I don't think they did, and haven't for a long time. And there are reports, again, of groups of Chinese unable to speak English being herded in and led to vote on and on like that. So,
I mean, well, so I would say this. For starters, it wouldn't shock me, okay? Groups of Chinese coming in to vote that can't speak English, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not here legally. For the record, they could just be New Yorkers that refuse to assimilate. That's definitely if they were born here and they refuse to assimilate and they're living in Chinatown, I mean, you see where I'm getting at. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not quote unquote American citizens. I will say
you guys never do factor in the voter fraud into any of these elections over the many years that I've listened to you. I
would absolutely push back against that. I mean, one of the big slogans of the 2024 election was too big to rig. Everybody knew that voter fraud was going to be baked into the cake, and we needed to come out in large numbers to combat that. And what did we see in 2024? We saw it was too big to rig. There is a certain threshold that you can get to where none of that is going to matter, but you got to be mobilized and you got to be energized. And nobody was in Virginia. Nobody was in New York City.
Too big to rig is not a solution long-term for voting. That was Donald Trump's plan to overcome the 2024 problems that were rampant. He wouldn't have won. He won by a lot more than was obvious.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's not a long-term solution. But what I'm saying is that I want Senate Republicans to fight as hard as they've ever fought. I want them to nuke the filibuster. I want to get voter ID passed nationwide, and I want mail-in ballots to be scrapped. And I think you'd see a lot of that fraud evaporate.
Well, we agree then, except for the fact that I have observed, especially and specifically this morning, of this being the first time any of that has been brought up. Sorry, but and I think that's odd, at least.
No, I mean, but we all know that fraud is there, right? But we also have to understand that in New York City, you also have the idiots that are going to support the blue candidate no matter who. I mean, and there's some weird stuff going on, and I've seen the ballots that Elon tweeted out, and I've seen the videos, and I think that you can make a much more compelling case when it comes to New Jersey and the bomb threats and the voting machines going down in conservative areas. I think that that's more compelling to me than a video of somebody that doesn't speak English going in to vote, especially in New York City. If you showed me that in Tennessee, I think we might go, oh, that raises some eyebrows. In New York City, I don't know.
They don't need to steal Tennessee. If you talk to Grok AI, they don't need to steal Tennessee. Just 4 or 5 states. If you talk to Grok AI, he totally explains away all those anomalies, the spikes, the turns, the 2 a.m. splits, which happened again this year. Those happen, and yet we go on talking about parties.
But a lot of these races were called super early, man. Like it wasn't like a 2 a.m. vote drop like we saw in 2020.
You didn't even know the reverse was later. The morning.
Okay, but I mean, I guess. All right, so let's operate from a standpoint that everything you said is 100% factual, and we could prove it. How do we stop it from happening again, Fred?
Well, you said it. That's where we agree. We have to have paper ballots that are watermarked and digitally ID'd as the president says they should be. We have to have both human and AI and passive camera on the vote so we can refer back to it if necessary. So we need a lot of human local eyes on the vote. People have stopped participating in their elections. We need people, not computers, not machines. Every machine can be rigged. I don't care how many layers. It's just digitizing it. Well, I can cause it to digitize it and change the vote at the same time. So here would be my question. That's what we can do on a bigger scale, right? Okay, but 1 sec. What is Fred in Kentucky going to do on the way to the midterms in 2026? I am going to push for paper ballots. I'm going to follow my president in his lead of what needs to be done to have fair elections.
If we can't get rid of mail-in ballots, Fred, are you willing to knock on doors? Are you willing to chase ballots?
I never stop talking about this stuff, man. Come on.
No. But I'm asking you. No. I'm asking you a serious question. Not just talking about it. Are you willing to go knock on doors? Are you willing to chase ballots? Are you willing to make that kind of an investment, that kind of a difference? Or are we going to be angry? Because the two things, like, we can be mad and we can be upset and we can call this stuff out, but what work are you going to put in to change it?
Here, going back to my first point, knocking on doors is ludicrous. We already have the votes. California.
That's not. It's not. It is absolutely. No. Knocking on doors and chasing ballots is not ludicrous. 100%. That is false thinking. The Turning Point Action Chase the Ballot initiative in 2024 helped us win 7 out of 7 swing states. To say that is ludicrous, you are letting the enemy creep in, my man.
No, I said it is ludicrous when those reforms are in place. It's ludicrous because we can still do it, love to do it, but we don't have to do it because we already have the votes.
But Fred, the reforms weren't in place, and those door knocking and ballot initiatives won us in 2024, won us the election.
Thank God for it. You're right.
So are you going to go out there and put the work in? I'm going to be going out there and putting the work in. Everybody needs to be invested, especially you in Kentucky, man. Kentucky, like it's a lot harder to make a difference in Tennessee when we're super red, but in Kentucky, you could make a big difference, Fred.
Kentucky is super red, man, and we need the reform would show that in the polls. It is super red. It's incredible what's been. Bashir has never been elected. I'm telling you, it's not just the presidential election. Bashir was never elected by Kentuckians. He was elected by buying the voting machines. The party that buys the voting machines and gets them rigged in their favor are the ones that win.
Okay, but didn't conservatives just buy the Dominion voting machines? So is that argument out the window?
ES&S is what they use in both Virginia and New York. So, no, it's not, and I have no idea what they'll do with it. Those parties, a Republican, like I say, will just use it to get elected, like the Bushes, and the Cheneys. They're totally without morals, man. They're not conservatives. They're not real human beings.
I tend to agree with you on that. I just think that we need to be more willing to put in work than begging our leaders to do something we're not sure they're going to do. I appreciate the call. As always, 1056 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Zero Res Nashville. 4 kids, 2 dogs. My house gets a lot of dirt tracked in, and it always goes right to the carpets. We used to stress. We used to panic. We used to go, oh, we got to buy a new rug. We don't, actually. Rugs are expensive. You know what's cheaper than buying a new rug? Getting your carpets cleaned from Zero Res. $45 any room. And it's like the Maha of carpet cleaning. They use their exclusive ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. Which means your carpets and upholstery won't just look insanely clean. They're going to stay clean longer. The kids can roll around. The dogs can roll around. You don't have to worry about what's in the fiber. It's not just carpets. They do the works. Air ducts, tile, rugs, upholstery. This is perfect for any room in your house. Any room. $45. Call Zero Res today, 615-535-9376, 615-535-9376, or book online, ZeroResNashville.com.
11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, we've got rolling roadblocks blocking the way. In fact, the left two lanes are blocked. 40 eastbound at Charlotte Avenue. Then on the south loop, we got a crash blocking the right lane, 65 northbound, right before you get there to I-40. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Metro Police say they have a man in custody who was firing shots from a rifle from his car. The man is seen carrying a rifle while inside Plaza Mariachi on Nolensville Pike. He got into a red Nissan Sentra, started firing shots while driving near Waikiki Boulevard. He was taken into custody 14 miles away on Dodson Chapel Road. This is near Bell Road, which is also near Nashville Shores Water Park. Some schools in the area are on soft lockdown until further notice. We're talking about J.E. Moss Elementary, Apollo Middle School, Antioch Middle School, KIPP Global Campus, and Lighthouse Christian Preschool, all on soft lockdown. But just know that police say they have the suspect in custody. Right now in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear declaring a state of emergency in order to provide additional assistance to the scene of yesterday's deadly UPS cargo plane crash.
It allows us to move resources more quickly through emergency management and the Kentucky National Guard. It allows state resources to be used also through our agencies to be readily available, including disaster resource management.
At least 9 confirmed fatalities and more than a dozen others are missing there in Louisville. In our nation's capital, oral arguments in the case surrounding President Trump's sweeping tariffs now underway at the Supreme Court. But even some of the president's own appointees appear skeptical of the administration's reach. Here's ABC's Peter Haralambous.
We've heard skepticism from at least 3 different conservative justices at this point. We have seen skepticism from Justice Barrett, Justice Roberts, and recently Neil Gorsuch, who basically said that this is basically, if they accept the Trump administration's argument, Congress delegating complete foreign authority, going as far as declaring wars to the president without any kind of oversight.
President Trump says the ongoing government shutdown, a big factor in Democrats' victories in yesterday's elections.
If you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans. And that was a big factor. And they say that I wasn't on the ballot was the biggest factor.
Well, newly elected New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani sees it this way.
I'm looking forward to showing the power of an example here in New York City, an example of what it means to not just diagnose the despair in working people's lives as the cost of living crisis, but to deliver on it. And that's the contrast between myself and President Trump.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeart, tune in the FM dial. You can watch us, Super Talk TV, YouTube, Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube chat. We got one guy in there that's causing a bit of a ruckus. He's a leftist. What's his handle? His Life Matters. I told him to call in.
Yeah, he's been on a couple times. I think this is his 12th account.
I know, but we don't block him.
We blocked him in the past from some of the other accounts because he said some very harsh stuff, but he's reeled back in, is a little more controlled, and still causing havoc. But
we like it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm glad
it.
He's here.
I wish he would call in. I think we'd have a good conversation, man.
Would be interesting.
You're welcome to call in. By all means, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. I didn't know we banned him.
Like a while ago, and it wasn't on our show. It was during I think Mandis' show.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They would definitely do that.
That sounds like something Mandis would do.
It's like, oh, can't handle that.
The cat got to get rid of him.
Can't do that.
No, I'm just kidding, Dan. I'm just messing with you, Dan. We love you, Dan. Call in, dude. By all means, call in. Somebody in the YouTube chat said, "Don't worry, he's getting schooled, Chris. We're running point for you."
Appreciate it.
Well, call. I don't even want to school you. I just kind of want to know.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, like where are you at? Where are our liberal friends at after the election yesterday? How are you feeling?
Where are you standing?
Where are you at? Call in, man. I'll give you all the time you need. Seriously, like I won't yell over you. I won't scream at you. Liberals, go to the front of the line. 615-737-9986.
Just a reminder, this is for a conversation, not a
I don't even want to yell or like call you names or anything. Like I would honestly love to see where you're at. You said you voted yesterday. I would want to know for who and for what state, where. By all means, 615-737-9986. I'd love to wrap my head around what your thinking is after the election results we saw yesterday. We took it in the shorts. We knew we were going to take it in the shorts. I hope that this is a wake-up call for everybody to fight. This is what we need to do. And I'm not advocating for violence, obviously. It's a slogan. We're talking about politically getting motivated and getting energized and doing the work to save the country, as we've seen in the past bear a lot of fruit. Are you ready to do the work to save the country? President Trump had a closed-door meeting this morning with Senate Republicans. And he alluded to what he was going to talk about in the closed-door meeting with his public statements during the breakfast with Senate Republicans while reporters were in the room.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so it's a long time. But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill.
He's right. And the reason they won't do it this time is because Orange Man bad. The reason they wouldn't do it this time is because they had these elections on the way. They didn't want to lose the leverage that the Democrats knew they had. This was a political weapon, the shutdown. Make no mistake about it. In fact, Punchbowl News is already reporting like about a dozen Democrats are already talking with Republicans on reopening the government. Get ready. I think Kalshi, is it Kalshi, the betting, one of the betting sites? Not Polymarket, the other one. I think it's Kalshi.
That sounds right.
They have it at 8 days. 8 days until the government's reopened. We'll see what happens. President Trump wants the filibuster nuked.
And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open. Congratulations. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass no mail-in voting. We should pass all the things that we want to pass, make our elections secure and safe, because California is a disaster. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station, you give ID. But for voting, they want no voter ID. That's only for one reason, because they cheat.
No, it's because that's not true, sir. It's because black people can't get IDs, dude. Everybody knows that. It's too hard. It's too tough. It's too tough for black people. Listen, I'm saying that in jest because I think it's a ridiculous argument, but this is what Democrats actually believe. The bigotry of low expectations. I don't think any black person would have a problem getting an ID. Just like I don't think any white person should have a problem, or Asian, or anybody. It's you just go and you get your ID. In fact, it's actually even easier if you're an illegal alien in some states. It's weird how that works out.
Pass that in 15 minutes. If you don't get it, you'll never pass that. You'll never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's correct. Even Jimmy Carter, they had the Carter Commission after he got out of office, and he had a group of very distinguished people, Democrats and Republicans, and they passed, they recommended things take place. It was a long time ago. And they said about mail-in ballots, if there is mail-in ballots, there will definitely be corruption because, they pass through too many hands. I mean, you go in to vote and they want you cut.
He's right. And this is one of the main reasons why many countries on the planet, including some that you would consider third world, have banned mail-in voting because they all understand what comes with it. You open the door for mail-in voting, you open the door for fraud. It's just the reality of the situation. We're getting reports. So those are the public statements from President Trump. We're getting reports from the closed-door meeting now, also via Punchbowl News, saying President Trump reportedly got tough with Senate Republicans behind closed door this morning, saying the GOP will become a dead party if they don't nuke the filibuster. I have a hard time disagreeing with that statement. We are going to lose all the gains we have made if we are not willing to go the distance. You nuke the filibuster, we can get voter ID. We can scrap mail-in balloting. Do you understand how hard it is going to be for the Democrats to win an election if we scrap mail-in voting and we require voter ID? Now, President Trump naturally gets some pushback. Senator Lindsey Graham, who I have a hard time wrapping my head around how Trump endorses this guy. Senator Lindsey Graham told Trump that budget reconciliation can be used to pass good legislation, to which Trump said, "You and I both know that there's so much you can't do with reconciliation," per Punchbowl. They say Trump is also concerned that the shutdown has negatively impacted Republicans more than Democrats, and that it reflected in stronger Dem turnout in the election. Why does the president continue to get this pushback from the party that he saved from the trash bin of history? Why? Do you think any other Republican candidate could have won in 2016? Do you think any other Republican candidate could have won in 2020? Yes, I said one. Possibly 2024. Let's be honest. I'll give you 2024 because we had 4 years of Joe Biden absolutely trashing everything. Everything. So I'll give you 2024. But let's be honest. Trump has reshaped, reformed, and changed this party. What audacity do Senate Republicans have to push back against him now? Unless you are in the camp like Mike Cernovich. He posted on X last night about the filibuster. He said, no one loves the filibuster more than Senate Republicans. Why? Well, it gives them an excuse to block the MAGA agenda. We need 60 votes. It's how amnesty-pushing weasels like James Lankford get a pass on votes the public want, but his donors don't like. And it's not just Lankford. You can make the same argument for so many fake rhino Republicans. It's their security blanket. Makes them feel safe. Gee whiz, guys, we sure did try, but that darn filibuster got in the way again. We'll get him next time, guys. Don't worry. We'll come up with something bipartisan. I haven't forgotten about that, by the way, Lankford. The bipartisan border bill. It's ridiculous. But you can make the same case for many of these Republicans. The Cornyn's, the Thunes, the Emmers. Do I need to go on? You know who they are. We all know who they are. And they have the filibuster security blanket. We sure did fight. Did you? Did you? Because we can go the distance. But Chris, the Democrats will use it. Okay. Are they? You don't think that they're going to do it anyway? So if we sit on our hands for a year, we lose in the midterms, then we got to deal with impeachments and all that garbage. You don't think if Democrats come back into power that they're not going to nuke the filibuster anyway? I don't subscribe to that. You've seen this Democrat Party. You've seen what they're willing to do. You've seen what their base is willing to do. You've seen what their base has done. You've seen other voters support somebody like Jay Jones, who wished death upon his Republican colleagues and also wanted to see the children die in their mother's arms. That's not a bridge too far. We saw the rubber stamping of a party of violence yesterday by their voters. You don't think they'd be willing to go the distance and nuke the filibuster? Give me a break. Give me an absolute break. Do you think, okay, and I know it's only been a year since Trump got elected, but listen, we're staring down the barrel of midterms, and we have to get serious. Do you think that J.D. Vance is going to be in good shape to win in 2028? If we lose the House and we lose the Senate in the midterms and we're dealing with impeachment trials? Do you think he's going to be in a strong position to win? Maybe. I mean, maybe you can make the argument. Maybe that is what will wake people up. Another half of Trump's presidency being lame duck. Maybe. But I'm not here for that. We have a small window of opportunity. And very few conservatives really want to go on offense. They love the infighting. Ted Cruz tweeting today about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. He's still upset that Tucker interviewed Nick Fuentes. Who cares? We have a country to save. If you don't want to give that any oxygen, then don't give it any oxygen. No, the majority of American voters and American people don't even know who Nick Fuentes is. So if you don't like him, don't talk about him. What are you doing? Focus on fixing things for America. We need Ted Cruz. I like Ted Cruz. But get rid of this personal vendetta BS. Let's get back to fixing America. You know who's out there fighting for Americans? It's not Mark Levin. It's not Ted Cruz wasn't out there knocking on doors. No. It's guys like Scott Presler. Scott Presler's out there all the time. It's guys like Tyler Boyer over at Turning Point Action. Knocking on doors, chasing ballots. We need more of that energy and less of the infighting if we want to have any chance in 2026. The purity tests need to go. Oh, he said mean things on the internet. Okay. The Democrats just elected an attorney general that wants to see Republican children die in their mother's arms. Like, miss me with the pearl clutching. I'm not here for it. J.D. Vance praised Scott Presler and Turning Point Action for their turnout efforts. Says to win the next elections, Republicans must focus on the home front and affordability, no more infighting. This is the way. This is the way. Trump has had a lot of victories, and you can't discount them. In a short year, what he has been able to do is unbelievable, and I'm grateful for it. I truly am. But if you want to win back disenfranchised young male voters, how about we focus on the H-1B visa scam? How about we focus on making the roads safer for every American and we get rid of the illegal aliens that are doing the trucking? How about we fight a little bit harder? This is what we need. This is what we need. J.D. Vance said, Scott Presler, TPUSA, and a bunch of others have been working hard to register voters. I said it in 2022. I've said it repeatedly since. Our coalition is low propensity, and that means we have to do better at turning out voters than we have in the past. We have to do better. We need to focus on the home front. The president has done a lot that has already paid off in lower interest rates, lower inflation, but we inherited a disaster from Joe Biden, and Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to keep working to make a decent life affordable in this country, and that's the metric by which we'll ultimately be judged in 2026 and beyond. The infighting is stupid. I care about my fellow citizens, particularly young Americans, being able to afford a decent life. I care about immigration and our sovereignty, and I care about establishing peace overseas so our resources can be focused at home. If you care about those things too, let's work together. This is the way forward. It's 11:22, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here to talk about the Glock store. Big sale coming up, Black Friday. If you love freedom, you love the Second Amendment, you love a good deal, this is for you. It's not just like I said Black Friday sale, and I feel like I'm underselling it. They're throwing a full-blown freedom party, let's be honest. Forget the big box store chaos. This is where real Americans are going to be shopping on Black Friday. They're about to blow the doors off of every sale you've ever seen them do. Think massive discounts on everything up to and including Glocks. Plus giveaways on top of giveaways, food trucks, live music. The whole thing is shaping up to be an event that you're going to brag about being at later. And if you know Glock Store, which I hope you do, you know they don't mess around. A couple Saturdays ago, they did their Vortex Day, and they gave away over $10,000 in Vortex optics for people just for showing up. I'm told this Black Friday blowout is going to make that day look like small potatoes. So skip them all and celebrate your right to bear arms at the one and only Glock Store. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, especially on Black Friday.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
All right, drivers, we've got a crash right now blocking the right lane, 65 northbound, right before the South Loop. And then on the South Loop, we've got rolling roadblocks for pothole repair. And it's blocking the left two lanes, 40 eastbound right there at 65. And a man is in custody for carrying a rifle in Plaza Mariachi on Nolensville Pike in South Nashville. We'll tell you what he did on the run coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That Plaza Mariachi story is insane.
Yes, and so apparently is the suspect.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy?
I've seen pictures.
He's got a look on his face like he is not all there.
No, he is not all there. In fact, I actually have a picture of him. You want to put it up on the stream for me? He doesn't look the most sane.
No, he doesn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, if you will.
No. It's just indiscriminately shooting, I guess.
Yeah, apparently there were 2 reports of shots fired within 4 minutes of each other along Nolensville Pike. And then they caught him like 14 miles away.
Well, God bless him for catching him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, shout out to Metro Nashville PD doing what needs to be done. I mean, all those police officers deserve a bunch of credit running towards the fire and doing what they need to do. Shout out to them. I mean,
Yes.
These guys just want to go home at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
So praying for those guys and appreciative of those guys today. Tell you what, though, I heard your other story that you teased.
What's that?
Rolling pothole repair?
Pothole repair.
It's like guys.
Can we do it at night?
I feel for my people who have like a 30-minute lunch break. And they're like, I'm just going to go one exit and I'm going to hit the Chick-fil-A and I'm going to come right back. You know somebody out there is in the middle of this right now dealing with that. And they're going to be late.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On the flip side of that, you could say that you got stuck in that rolling pothole traffic.
That's right.
And get yourself an extended lunch break.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no warning.
None. We couldn't have known. How could we have known?
They didn't have the cones out.
How could we have known? They'd be like, sir, you work in Murfreesboro. I'd be like, stop. This doesn't concern you. So Ken Weaver's got the headlines on the way. Also on the way, we got the much anticipated lightning round. People yesterday were mad that we didn't have the lightning round. We don't do the lightning round on Tuesdays when we got my buddy Josh Tifo in for Tifo Tuesday. We don't do the lightning round, but we got a good lightning round loaded up for you today. There is a bunch of stories that we have not had the opportunity to get to, which we are going to dive in and talk about, up to and including Tommy Robinson in the UK. He has been officially acquitted of all charges under the Terrorism Act, and we're going to talk about this when we return. That's going to be our first story in the lightning round, which happens right after Ken Weaver's newscast, which happens right now.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, an armed man is in custody. Police say he was carrying a rifle in Plaza Mariachi on Nolensville Pike. They arrested him 14 miles away near Nashville Shores Water Park. Police say he was firing shots from the car as he was driving. They say they spiked the tires of the car at Bell Road and Stewart's Ferry Park and then stopped him near Dodson Chapel Road. That's Dodson Chapel Road. No reports of any injuries, but several schools were placed on soft lockdown, including J.E. Moss Elementary, Apollo Middle School, Antioch Middle School, KIPP Global Campus, and Lighthouse Christian Preschool, all on soft lockdown. Again, the suspect in custody. Channel 4's Jordan James reporting from Plaza Mariachi tells us what the man was doing when he was there.
It appears that he was looking for someone because you can see him turning his head left to right and just kind of walking through the store. It seems like he was on a mission in some sense, looking for a person. And I said, as he made his way past one of the entrances, that's when I can see a person run out the door to try to get away from him.
Yeah, so News 2 says Metro Nashville police dispatch logs show 2 separate shots fired calls within minutes of each other this morning. One on Nolensville Pike at Woodbine at 9:03, and then the other one at the intersection of Nolensville Pike and Thompson Lane in Glencliff at 9:07. Then just after 10:30, police announced the man had been taken into custody on Dodson Chapel Road near Bell Road. Right now in Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency to get more resources to assist at the scene of yesterday's deadly UPS cargo plane crash near Muhammad Ali International Airport.
The plane hit 2 businesses, Kentucky Petroleum Recycling and Grade A Auto Parts. Those employers are going through and making sure They can locate all of their employees.
As many as 16 people still missing. At least 9 are confirmed dead. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. I love you guys. I really do. We have a heck of a show team that we got here. I am the most blessed on the entire radio station because I got Mason producing, and then I get Joan Jones for half the day, and then I get Ken Weaver for the other half of the day. I'm overflowing with blessings here on the Chris Hand Show. But the best part of the show is always you guys. And I find myself digging through the texts and the YouTube chat during the break, as I tend to do. And I just laugh. You guys are the best. I'm getting fact-checked. Somebody's like, they do pothole repair during the day because it's warm. It's too cold at night. I'm like, dude, I'm just being a jerk because it's funny. And he said, you're right. It is funny. All right, perfect. John texted in. He's like, there's no getting through a Chick-fil-A on a 30-minute lunch break, pothole repair or not. Fair. Then I got other people texting in. We were talking about the guy at the mariachi. Was it Plaza Mariachi in Nolensville? And quite a few people texting in. Just Nashville man things. You know what they're alluding to, right? That the man was probably an illegal alien. Yeah. Just a Nashville man. So I'm reading these texts and I'm laughing. And then I got a text from 1579. He said, things are looking horrible for Republicans. I like it though. I don't think things look good, but I think that there's a silver lining to that. Like, I think that the bad taste in our mouth that we have today is going to really jolt a lot of people awake. And that is a good thing. Does that make sense? Like, oh, we put our hand in the fire. Dang, that's hot. Oh, well, okay. Fire's hot. Let's remember that. And let's get back to doing what we do, which is winning. I do hope that the Republicans listen to President Trump, because why on earth would you not, and nuke the filibuster? I hope they do. You just need a simple majority vote to get rid of it. So why not do it? I think the Rhino Republicans have their own reasons. They love the filibuster security blanket, but we can talk about that a bit more in depth tomorrow, because you know what time it is, Mason. Do you know what time it is?
I think I do.
We'll tell the people.
It's the lightning round.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
If you were a little angry before, like, you hear the lightning round music and it's like hard to stay angry.
Cheers me up pretty quick.
It's just good. It's good music.
It's good.
Yeah, it's the best song. Obviously. All right. We got quite a few stories here in the lightning round. Some of them have been happening, and we just haven't had a chance to discuss it. But we will discuss it today. All right, let's start with our first story in the lightning round. Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson has officially been acquitted of all charges under the Terrorism Act. Tommy he's a terrorist in the UK because Islam is incompatible with the West, and he had the audacity to say it. The judge was blistering in his criticism of the police, saying their testimony lacked credibility and that they had targeted Tommy for political reasons, which is illegal. Rebel News, which is a good outfit, they got the call of the game on the field.
Ezra Levant here for Rebel News. I'm standing outside Westminster Magistrates Court. Huge news today. Tommy Robinson acquitted of charges under the Terrorism Act. The judge blistering in his criticism of the police, saying they lacked credibility and their testimony could not be relied on. In fact, the judge went further, saying that he believed that the primary reason the police arrested, detained, and interrogated Tommy in the first place was because of his political views, which is a protected characteristic in the UK. That is,
the police went after Tommy Robinson because of his political views. Oh, shocker. Tommy Robinson isn't a terrorist. Tommy Robinson is one of the last patriots that the UK has left, and God bless him for what he's doing. One of the guys that really did help out with Tommy Robinson was Elon Musk, and you may remember this. Elon Musk was when he had purchased X, he had said that he would cover legal fees for anybody who was involved in free speech crimes, and one of the people that he helped out was Tommy Robinson. And Tommy heaped praise on Musk, saying, first of all, thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you. If it wasn't for Elon Musk, why did it take an American businessman to fight for our justice here? If it wasn't for him, our fight against terrorism charges for journalists. Robinson previously claimed on X that Elon paid nearly, was it 100,000 pounds for this trial. Musk's team has not confirmed this claim, but the ex and Tesla owner addressed a mass British demonstration organized by Robinson in September. The comments on Musk have already prompted fresh scrutiny of the Tesla owner's interventions in British politics. Musk is a frequent critic of the country's Labour government and has even predicted civil war in the country. I don't think that's like a hard thing to predict when you look at what's happening in the UK. People are pissed. There's no pressure release valve like we have in this country with free speech, although it seems like a lot more people are pissed in this country and are not using the pressure release valve. But in the UK, there's still terror attacks happening, and it's because of the migration policy. And if you speak out against it, oi, you got a license for all that free speech? No, but they don't issue the licenses, so nobody's allowed to say what they think. And it could be so benign. It could be like, I don't know if these immigrants are assimilating to British culture. Oi, they're the new British, you bigot. All right. Best of luck to you. Tommy Robinson, free and acquitted of all the terrorism charges for having a bit too much to think. That's our first story in the lightning round. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. This story has been circulating. I haven't had a chance to cover it, but I do love it. Erica Kirk has called on the judge to allow cameras in the courtroom for Charlie Kirk's assassination suspect's trial. Thank you, Erica. This whole thing has been cloudy, conspiracy-laden, and I think that one of the things you have to understand, people are like, the FBI isn't saying anything. It's like, yeah, but the FBI also can't taint a jury pool, and the FBI has to keep some of the evidence low-key to not taint that jury pool. They can't just release everything outright. The fact that Erica Kirk is calling for cameras in the courtroom, I think, is massive. And I hope that the judge agrees. Erica Kirk, the widow of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, is calling on Judge Tony Graff to allow news cameras inside the courtroom for Tyler Robinson's upcoming trial. There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered, Erica Kirk told Jesse Waters. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning, judging her every move. She ripped into this on Jesse Waters, saying that they're analyzing my every smile, my every tear. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come. Good for Erica, honestly. Kudos to Erica Kirk. We do need cameras in that courtroom. And from what I'm hearing from people closer to the situation is that once the stuff comes out in court, these conspiracy theories that you have been hearing will be officially put to bed. I hope that that's true. Although I do understand in 2025 to get a consensus on the truth is a very, very hard thing to do. I think it may be better, it may be easier to find a picture of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster or raise a unicorn. I think all those things may be easier than finding a consensus on the truth in 2025. But more transparency is a good thing. And the fact that Erica Kirk is calling for these cameras to be in the courtroom, I'm grateful for that. And I hope that the judge obliges her. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. I had another story, and then I went to click over the tab for my notes, and do you know what I did? Do you do this? Do you ever do this? You go to click over to the tab that you want, but you hit the stupid little X.
Yeah, the little hex that always seems to be unmissable whenever you need something important.
Like, why does this always happen to me?
Every time.
It's ridiculous. And then I open up the wrong thing. All right, got another story for you here in the lightning round. Just a little extra lightning as I scroll. So dumb. Remember those monkeys that went missing?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about the hero in that situation? Did you hear?
I did not.
Okay, this is actually pretty based and red-pilled. A mom killed the last remaining monkey.
Oh, interesting.
Which is just so based. The mom shot and killed the last disease-ridden test lab monkey that got loose in Mississippi. They had herp. They had a touch of the herp, a touch of the vid, and a touch of the hep. And these monkeys were just running around aimlessly. So one mom saw them, saw the last remaining monkey and took matters into her own hand. Here's the local call of the play from local Mississippi news.
Heidelberg shot and killed one of the monkeys that escaped after a truck overturned in Jasper County.
At first, because I said, okay, if I shoot, is he going to run to me?
Shoot him again, then. Shoot him twice. If he's running to her, he's coming right for me. Bang, 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 bang. How many you got in there? Use them all. Use them all. I love this woman. And I love that she's armed, too. This lady, black lady, seems to be well put together, like super smart, armed. Like, I love this kind of stuff. The Second Amendment is for everyone. You never know when you are going to be confronted with a herpes-infested, hepatitis-infested, COVID-ridden monkey. Let's just be honest. And in that situation, you're going to wish that you had spent some time training at the Glock store. I'm going to actually ask them if we could start a new drill there. How to take those lab monkeys out. Do that. They might take me up on it. They might say, Chris, this is the 7th bad idea you've sent us in a week. Please stop emailing us. But I think it would be good. I think it'd be good. You learn how to clear a room in the dark. How about we learn how to clear a forest from these herp-ridden monkeys? This mom, she shot the monkey once. She said, I don't know. Is he coming right for me?
Well, that right there was Jessica Bond Ferguson, and she said that she was alerted by her 16-year-old son, who said he had seen a monkey running in their yard outside their home near Heidelberg around 6 this morning. And the Jasper County Sheriff's Office confirmed in a social media post that a homeowner had found one of the monkeys on their property Sunday morning. Well, that was them. The State Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks said that monkey is now in their possession.
Shot at it the first time, he just sat there. And I shot again, and that's when he went back.
Based. That's what you do. Shoot once, you still sit. Shoot again. Shoot again. Here's my question. And we went over this when the zebra went missing in Murfreesboro. Remember that? Like, if you hit the zebra, that zebra's yours now. If you killed a monkey on your property, is that monkey yours? And would you want to stuff and mount a herpes, hepatitis, COVID-ridden monkey? Does the disease die when the monkey dies? These are questions that are remaining unanswered today. And I demand we get to the bottom of it.
I was going to try and answer, and I'm like, I'm not the authority on this. This is not my area of expertise.
Do you have no inclination?
No idea.
Somebody will.
615-737-9986.
Is that, according to, I'm more well versed in bird law than I am in monkey law. Just to be perfectly honest with you.
Lack of bird law.
I tend to be an aficionado in bird law, so I do need to brush up on the monkey law. And I don't know if what the rules are in Mississippi, but I would want to keep that monkey. You kill that monkey's yours. Stuff it and mount it, baby. Stuff it and mount it. That does it for the lightning round. It's 11:50. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand. And listen, if you got a slow or clogged drain, don't wait around and hope it's going to fix itself. Call my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and take advantage of their 93 or free main line opening special. That's right. They'll clear your main line for just $93 or it's free. They're either going to diagnose and fix the issue or it is free to you. This is a November-only deal, and it's a great way to keep your home running smooth before the holidays hit. And I love this. Busy Bee is also going to be showing some gratitude this month. One lucky veteran is going to win a 50-gallon water heater with installation. All you got to do to enter, send them a photo of you in uniform, and that's it. Winner's going to be announced on Veterans Day, November 11th. Plus, if you got a favorite Thanksgiving Day recipe, share it. You can win $2,000 off a new HVAC system. The runner-up gets $1,000 just for sharing your grandmother's recipes. It's free money. Winner's going to be announced on Facebook Live November 21st. So again, I don't want to bury the lead. If the drain's backed up, get the 93 or free mainline opening special now from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, where comfort meets care. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com. 11:55, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. In studio with the one, the only Chad Benson. What's up, dude?
How'd it go last night, dude?
Well, we didn't win.
Oh, no. But
we lost by 1 run. We had played this team twice before. And our kids played great, man. Like, we couldn't be mad at the effort. It wasn't like one of those things where it's like, oh, if this didn't happen, we would have won, or like, oh, we got screwed on this. It was like, it was a good game, and congrats to the other team. But yeah, we played them the first time we played them in the season. We took it in the shorts, like they beat the brakes off us. The second time we played them was closer. This is the closest that we had been. So it's like, guys, we're seeing the improvement. And here's the other thing, which I was telling my son last night. I'm like, buddy, we got more wins in the playoffs than we did the regular season.
Yeah,
you made it all the way to the championship game. Like, you
got hot at the right time.
Let's celebrate that. But I said to him, and it was perfect the way it rolled into today. I was like, you learn more in a loss than you do in a victory.
Absolutely.
And it was like the perfect analogy for what we're seeing with the Republican Party today after the elections last night. If they want to take the advice.
If you want to take the advice.
If they want to learn.
Yeah.
I hope that they listen to Trump and nuke the filibuster. Let's go. How do you feel about nuking the filibuster?
No, don't.
Why?
The reason is simple, because Trump says, oh, they're going to do it. They're not going to do it. Everybody's afraid.
Yes, no, they absolutely are going to do it. The only reason they didn't do it the last time was because of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, and they're no longer here.
I don't think, because everybody's always terrified about just like they did with, when Harry Reid did it. If you nuke it now, and by the way, this is even like I heard John Kennedy and stuff yesterday, and the reason is simple. Trump, it sounds great. You set it up for yourself. That's a wonderful thing. But once this happens, our democracy changes in a way where it's going to extreme from one level to another level, and it's going to start to erode because people then vote themselves all the goodies they can dream of.
I just feel like if we do it now, we can find ourselves in a situation where the Democrats never regain power again. We get voter ID in nationwide. We scrap mail-in ballots. Do you understand the uphill battle that the Democrats will have? And again, I go back to the fact that the only reason they didn't do it themselves was Manchin and Sinema, who are no longer there. They've been replaced by people that are far further left. The Democrats of today are not these moderate Dems. And the ones that are moderate Dems, like Chuck Schumer, they understand.
He's done.
But they understand if they don't bend the knee to the radical left elements of the party, then they're going to be primary.
He won't be there, so it doesn't matter, because AOC is going to be the new. But if you go and do this, and see, I understand why Trump wants to do it, because the reality is, after 3 years, I'm not here, so it doesn't really matter what happens after that.
But the other reality is we have 1 year.
Oh, yeah. You have less than a year. We have less than a year to fix this.
1 year. And the majority of his wins have come via executive order.
Yeah, because Congress sucks.
Yes.
I mean, let's be real. That's the other thing, though. When you do this, you're now on the hook for everything.
My big issue isn't just the Democrats. It's the Senate Republicans who use the filibuster as a security blanket, and they hide behind it, so that way they don't piss off their voters and they don't piss off their donors.
Well, the greatest thing in politics is to be in the minority with zero chance for anything to happen to you get a voting out, where you can come up and you can scream and yell all day long, raise a bunch of money, and then realize you have no repercussions because you have no responsibilities.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
No responsibilities.
I'm a big fan of nuking the filibuster. I'm a big fan of going as hard as we can, as quickly as possible, because we have a window of opportunity to save the country, and if we don't take advantage of it, we're screwed.
I think we're stronger than that, but we'll see. Well, I mean, either way, the Republicans have to get on board, and everybody seems to say no.
It's so lame.
Everybody seems to, and even today, he was trying to push, and they were like, no.
I know.
No.
He's getting pushback from Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, and he got pushback from John Kennedy and Thune. So, even if he said, yes, you may get 40, but I don't think you're getting everybody right now.
Well, that sucks. I hope that they can make something happen. I really do.
We will see. We will see.
Chad's in next. It's 12 o'clock. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.